in today's video, we are back on the M6, and right now we're at the point where if you are travelling further south than Birmingham, that you need to make a decision. You can of course stick with the original M6, but then you're going to probably be stuck in a lot of traffic. But these days, there is a second choice.
You're not thinking that.
I sure am, boy.
You can of course pay some money and take the M6 toll. The M6 toll runs between the Coles Hill interchange at junction 3A on the M6 to junction 11A on the M6, which is just south of Cannock. The southern part of the M6 toll also interacts with the M42. The official name for the M6 toll is the Midlands Expressway, and driving down it, there never seems to be a shortage of something to look at. For some drivers, there is actually a way you can go down the M6 toll and your passage will be completely free. And quite often driving down the M6 toll, you'll see something very ironic. So let's discuss it. One trucker's eye. So the length of the M6 toll or Midlands Expressway is around 27 miles. It was officially opened on the 9th of December in 2003. It was built by a private company called Midlands Expressway Limited, having been funded by an Australian investment group.
G'day, mate.
Then in 2023, the road was taken over by a company called Elitica. No, that was Metallica. Elitica, not to be confused with Metallica, is a pure transport infrastructure operator. They focus exclusively on the design and operation of highways, along with other mobility assets across 7 countries in Europe and Latin America. Their head office is in Madrid, in Spain. There is something you can get your teeth into whilst driving down the M6 toll, and that's keeping your eye out for the wildlife on the route. And there's one type of animal that you're guaranteed to see on every single trip down the M6 toll. Did you see it? Just a massive deer grazing on the grass. A very regular sight on the M6 toll. And also, one fun of irony. More on that in a second. But on this particular day, I was starting to feel like a cup of coffee. And luckily enough, there is one motorway service station on the M6 toll too. And in an absolute unashamed plug, if you do like these videos, then you have the chance to buy me a coffee. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. A massive thank you to the people who've done so already. I really am so grateful. This is a decent service station with plenty of toilets too. I absolutely despair. I really do. Sadly, that's not the only bad trucker that we're going to be discussing in this video, and those ones coming up later are even worse. Anyways, let's get into the services and go and get a coffee. As you can see in these services, they put the lorry park right out of the way. The truck parking is hidden behind those trees. You might just be able to make out the Days Inn hotel on the site. But if you do visit these services, it's probably not a good idea to leave a load of food on the floor. So as we make our way to the exit of Norton Kane services, I'm going to let the people that don't know how to get a free pass on the M6 toll, how to do it. I can assure you that this clip I found on Facebook is certainly not the way to do it.
Right, this is how you get out of the toll and you don't pay no money. I'll show you now, guys. Press this button
Your call is important to us.
Press
A
that
member of our team will be with you.
Hi, sorry, I don't have enough money in my bank account to pay for the...
I have to see the contact number and you can pay it online.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, really good that fella. Especially when they've got your registration from the ANPR cameras. Also, probably not a good idea to put your business's watermark on the video. But to actually get a free pass on the M6 toll is to pay to park your truck at the Norton Kane services. This will give you a free pass along the M6 toll because you've paid to stay in the services. Also, if you stay in the hotel on the services, you'll also get a free pass along the M6 toll. But just how much does it cost for each vehicle to use the M6 toll? Well, going back to the animals that you see regularly on the M6 toll, you'll get some kind of idea. Oh dear. What a terrible joke. Well, for a Class 5 vehicle according to the M6 toll, which is a HGV, it will cost you £18.20 at the time this video was made in September 2025. If you only want to travel 2 or 3 junctions, that price is significantly reduced by a whole £2. Customers using the road can set themselves up a Breeze account. This will save you a whole £2.30 of that £18.20 fee. But just how much did it cost drivers to travel down the M6 toll back on its first day of operation on the 9th of December 2003? As you can see, the first price for HGVs was £11. That's a 65% increase in 20 years. Whilst making this video, I've found some receipts of when I've used the M6 toll in the past. As you can see from this receipt, in August 2018, the price for a HGV was just £12, meaning that in the last 7 years there's been a price increase of just under 52%. But believe it or not, there are some people that will go to almost any length not to pay the toll. And quite amazingly, they are the ones who are supposed to be the professional drivers. Back in 2015, Romanian national Nicușor Paun decided that after inadvertently driving down the M6 toll that he didn't want to pay. And as you can see on the video, this is what he thought the best course of action was. Unbelievably, Paun wasn't alone in the cab. His passenger, Vasil Rodescu, even decided to switch seats with him. They were both followed and arrested by Staffordshire police. In a Staffordshire court, Rodescu was given a 4-month jail term suspended for 18 months. And was disqualified from driving in the UK for 12 months. He was also ordered to pay £900 in court costs. Paun, the actual driver at the time, was sentenced to 8 months in prison, suspended for 18 months, banned from driving for 2 years in the UK, and ordered to pay £180 in court costs. But then they even turned round at a toll booth, so they would have had to pay anyway. But less than a year later, there was more madness. Staffordshire police released this video of Czech driver František Formanek. Formanek was driving a Czechoslovakian registered Eddie Stobart truck. Formanek was twice over the drink drive limit. He was jailed for 10 months and banned from driving in the UK for a year. I've seen many terrible examples of reversing, but not many as bad as this, all to get out of paying the toll. In the most recent incident, an as yet unnamed driver decided that rather than pay the £18.20 toll, he'd just drive straight through the barrier. He was also arrested by Staffordshire police and now faces a £1,200 repair bill. That's the sound of me banging my head against a brick wall as I've got in the wrong lane at the toll booths again. Fear not, I did get to pay my £18.20 and I was allowed through and on my way. Well, after a sustained period of time, we eventually completed our journey down the M6 toll and back onto the M6. But not before we passed through the roadworks for the HS2 project. In the last video we were talking about the Bromford Viaduct and the Bromford Tunnel, and it's here on the right hand side that you'll find that entrance to the HS2 Bromford Tunnel at Waterhorton. Who says this nonsense isn't thought about? There is one more thing that I want to mention before I end the video, but before I do that I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then please consider doing so. But before I go, I just want you all to recognise that this is probably the only video you'll ever watch on the M6 toll that didn't mention the bridge that served no purpose. Yep, no mention from me about the Lichfield Canal Aqueduct. No! Oh, well I suppose I've done it now, haven't I? I'll see you all next time. One little trucker's eye.